Peace and love, everybody. So here at the Mind, Body, Energy, and Balance podcast, we have a new segment called Hot Takes of the Spirit, right? And so these are various, it could be anything from what's happening in the social world, global dynamics, what's happening in communities, wide, reference relevant to our community, as well as things that are happening on the current events scene. All right. So today I want to talk to you about a hot take from the spirit is on the topic of humility, right? Oftentimes, particularly in the Afrocentric community, it has been my experience that, our brothers always want the sisters to be humble. All right. I'm going to use quotation marks, right? Um, so here's what I'm going to say. If being humble, if being in the back, if being, comfortable with being behind the scenes and doing various things behind the scenes, if that's your natal flow, like your natural energy, then have at it, you know? If, being satisfied that, or being very, very adept at being what they say secondary but necessary, is that what they say? I think that's what they say. If that's your natal energy, have at it. I want to talk to the women whose natal energy is bodacious, is effervescent, is bubbling over their own cup. They serve in a way that is huge. They serve in a way that their confidence is out front, right? If your confidence is more, what was the word of the year? I think it was demure, which is all good. It's lovely. Nobody is discounting one over the other, except for perhaps, folks who are fearful of that kind of energy. That's why I'm gonna just say that, right? I know that's why it's a hot take. A hot take is something that it may be considered controversial, right? If your natal energy, if the way that you move through life regularly is demure, is in a, in a humble, in a behind the scenes type of way, if that's your comfort level, we salute that. We celebrate that. That's wonderful. I'm cheering you on. But if your nature is bodacious, voracious, effervescent, and your confidence is out front, your energy is big and bold, well, dang nabbit, we celebrating that too. And it doesn't matter your genitalia. It doesn't matter your gender. If your natural energy is to be bold, then be bold. Because we need what you have, whether it is demure and humble and you love to play the behind the scenes role. We need that. And we need you to be out front and full of confidence. And, the life of the party, the life of the business, the life of the community, the life, the light and life and energy that is bold and effervescent. We need that too. So if that's your natural energy, don't let nobody squeeze you into no humble box. Right? A lot of times it's fake humility or it's survival humility because the people in our life don't know how to reconcile their own confidence when standing next to someone who is just bubbling, exuding confidence. Right? So they say, hey, you're a woman. Women ain't supposed to act like that. You got to calm that ish down. Calm down. Quiet down. You got to be humble. Motherly means being humble. No. There's a certain type of energy that is required to lead. There's a certain kind of energy, right? That's required to lead. You don't have to necessarily be bombastic. You don't have to be arrogant. You don't have to be, caustic. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to be authentic in a way that is antagonizing. But you do have to stand up in your natural leadership, natural presence. And if that is bold, if that is, full of capacity, sometimes people don't even want you to show that you can do a thing. I remember one time I was sitting with somebody, and hot take from the spirit, y'all. I was sitting with somebody and we were going over putting together a document. Now, I knew how to I could have put the document together in like 10 minutes. But the person wanted to show me how to put the document together. And I found myself, I'm going to use this word, dumbing down my knowledge base so I could allow them to show me what it is they wanted to show me. And that didn't dawn on me, right? In the interest of harmony, in the interest of appearing for their sake a certain level of humility, if you will. Humility is probably not really the right word in this sense, but tying it together for their sake, right? Because I knew that this person had a lot of trouble with bold and, really, confident women. But for some reason, universe put us together and we had to figure this thing out. And so rather than shut him down and have him feeling some kind of way or on offense or feeling defensive about the pairing, I yielded my intellectual capacity. And so that night when I went home and meditated on my day, I saw myself doing that. And I was like, me no likey. I was like, I don't like that. Like, why do I have to be dumber? Because you feel, upset about that. That is so bad. That's so bad. If you are bold, if you are confident, if you have capacity, if you are brilliant, be that. We need that. And anybody who is offended by that is stuck in the mud. They on the low road behavior. We need for you to be as brilliant and as shining and as bright and filled with love, light, healing, and energy as you possibly can be in this time that we are here in terms of the universal energy and on this planet Earth. We need it. We all have to learn how to measure and dispense our talents. So if you are naturally bold, it doesn't mean that you have to be loud and aggressive and, rude and contrary. That's not the same thing as being a bold, confident woman, right? Life teaches us, especially in this particular system that we live in, that as a woman, that's not really, you got to be quiet and meek. And if, a male energy is present and that male is confused by your power, then you got to dumb it down so you don't hurt his feelings. I'm saying that y'all can rewind that, but listen to how that sounds. The wisest societies that have lived the longest encouraged women to be as brilliant as they possibly could be. They also encouraged the woman who just wanted to, support the background. And that was her brilliance. They encouraged the woman who didn't want anybody to shine. No, I don't have to be out front. I don't want to hear nothing. I will, be as meek or whatever. I'll just be in the background. And again, being in the background don't mean you meek as well. I'm not trying to disrespect or put a negative light on a certain persona. But I'm also saying, as a woman who is very confident, who is bold, I've experienced, more. Well, why you smart? What? No, I've experienced that. So the societies that have lasted the longest supported women in whatever gifts God gave them. Let's say that. Societies that have lasted the longest have supported their human folk in whatever gifts God gave them. And we have to be about that. You can't keep your foot on a person's neck because of her gender and because she is, she is wise and bold in her intelligence and her capacity, right? So a hot take from the spirit. If you are naturally humble, then be that. If you're naturally bold, then be that. If you are naturally gifted intellectually, then be that. If you naturally have the capacity to problem solve and work things out, and people around you are confused about that, thinking it's saying something to affront them, shine as bright as you can. And as our boys from EYL said, as you elevate, those that can breathe will be there breathing that elevated air with you. And those that can't, they'll fall away. But don't you dumb down your energy in the name of somebody's definition of humility. Don't do it. We ain't got time for that. We need what you got. Okay? And that's been a hot take from the spirit, from Mama Yoga Wellness and the Mind, Body, Energy, and Balance podcast. Listen, if y'all like these segments, if you like our videos, please like and share. They got algae out here, doing the thing. So the more people who share the video, the more people who comment, the more people who like the video, then, we get to continue doing our work and get to share the message out as far and wide as it can, because I know it can't just be me who's had these experiences. And as they say, let him use you. Let God use the energy, the words, the message to help nourish folk, because that's what we need in this time. Okay. All right, then I'll see y'all soon. Take care. Peace and love.